Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a great day. Today's topic, I really wanted to talk about how to really embrace and channel into your dark femininity. And I feel like I've already made a video like this similar previously that I will link down below, but I wanted to go deeper into specifically how to really channel this dark feminine side of yourself, because I feel like that can be a struggle for a lot of people. It was a struggle for me, so I might just be speaking for myself, but I also feel like in society it's really hard for women to be able to embrace their dark femininity without being scrutinized. So therefore, I think or I hope that this video will give you some tips on what you can do to really channel that side of yourself. So number one, I don't think people talk too much about this, but I feel like music is one of the most important ways to channel energy in general. So whatever energy you're trying to cultivate, let's say you want soft femininity or light femininity, dark, whatever you're looking for, I always think music is one of the best ways to really get into that and get in tune with that. So if I'm looking for dark feminine energy, I always listen to artists that are very in their own dark feminine elements. If they have their own aesthetic that is very dark feminine, that is usually a really great way for me to also channel that. So I look at artists such as SZA, Rihanna, even Lana Del Rey. They have a sense of dark feminine energy in their music. And when I listen to that music, it gets even easier for me to channel that. And I think it has something to do with that fact that artists like this are able to talk about they dare to talk about their dark and unfiltered vulnerable parts of being a woman, and without caring about judgment or caring about what society accepts. So I think that's why listening to artists like this, when you want to really channel in your dark feminine, I think that's one of the most easiest ways to do that. So whenever you feel you're struggling to get even into that mindset, I make sure I put on a playlist of artists that already express the feelings that I don't know how to express myself. So I really recommend to just maybe create a playlist with artists that you feel speak to you and speak to your dark feminine side, and who really express themselves in a way where you feel like you can also connect with your dark feminine side. So the next one is movement. I don't think we understand how important our bodies really are to be connected with our bodies, because our bodies are like the most important vessel that we have. It's how we move through the world, it's how the world even receives us. So I think that being connected to your body is one of the most important ways to really get into your dark feminine, because I feel like as women it's really easy to not be connected with your body at all. I remember I've spent so many years where I didn't feel connected to my body at all, and it just wasn't something you were taught maybe as you were younger. At least I wasn't, and it could be other reasons such as trauma and etc. But I feel like once you're connected with your body and you realize how important it is to be connected, you start to really get into that dark shadow side of yourself. And I also feel like because of that, it's really easy to connect with your dark feminine side and be in tune with yourself and your whole being. When you treat it as one of the most important things in your life, you start feeling this dark feminine energy coming easily to you, and it doesn't feel forced and it doesn't feel unnatural, which is what we want. We want dark feminine to feel very natural and not forced, or else it will just not be something that we want to even do anymore. So one of the tips for doing that is, as I said before, movement. Go on walks, sign up for dance classes, or go to yoga or Pilates, whatever you want, but anything that makes you really focus on your body and moving it and using it in its full capacity. I think that's gonna really make it more natural and more easier for you to get into your dark feminine energy without it feeling too forced, as I said before. So make sure you do that. And another thing is work on your inner wounds. The thing about dark feminine, it's all about shadow work. Our dark feminine side is really our dark side. It's all of the repressed feelings, the traumas. Well, it's everything that we have that we don't show to the world. That's what dark feminine is. So, by working on healing your inner wounds, because I truly believe you probably all have some form of dark wound or some wound that needs healing, but we might not focus on it that much, and that's why our dark feminine suffers. But I think that if you focus on healing that inner wound, doing some shadow work, focusing on what are my traumas, what have I been through, what has affected me that I might not have used enough time to really process. For instance, I know journaling works really well, at least for me. So I journal everything down. If I'm having a horrible day, best believe I will write all about it. I will write it in my notes, I will write it in my journal, whatever I have available, I will write it down. Because I think suppressing our feelings and just accepting things when they come, it really has an effect on us on the long term. Um, I don't know if anyone else can relate to this, but I feel like as women, we're expected not to complain. We're expected to just take things as they come and never complain and never process what we feel and how angry we might feel, how sad we might feel. We're just expected to take everything the world throws at us and just, absorb it, I guess. But I don't think that's a healthy way, because it will only hurt you in the long term, because you'll suffer with so much inner work and wounds that are not healed. And that's why I feel like journaling is one of the most effective ways to really get all of those emotions out in a very healthy way, because you don't want to also be aggressive. You don't want to be doing things that you might regret as a way to cope with your wounds. You want to do it in a healthy way. And that's why I feel journaling, for instance, is a really, really great technique to use in order to get your feelings out, but also in a very healthy way. Another way as well is meditation. I know a lot of people find that to also work. Sitting down, meditating, really ruminating in your feelings. I think that can also be a great, great way to heal. And obviously, I would always recommend therapy. I think everyone has something to deal with in life. So there's nothing wrong with seeking professional help and somebody that can actually give you some productive advice and tips to deal with the world, because that is just you taking care of yourself. So definitely look into all of these techniques in order to really heal that inner wound and really get into the core of your traumas. Next is stand your ground on everything. And what I mean with that is, one thing I always try to talk about in my videos is setting boundaries, creating boundaries, say no to what you don't like or what you don't feel like doing. Basically, just be very firm on how you want to live your life. Don't accept things that you don't want. If there's something that doesn't sit right with your soul, that's your inner being telling you that they don't want that. It's your shadow self telling you that they don't feel like doing this because there's something wrong with doing this. So listen to it. Don't ignore it. Don't let outside forces tell you that you should do something that your inner being and your shadow self is telling you not to. Your shadow self is there for a reason. It's there to help and guide you through this life. So listen to it. Create boundaries. Boundaries are only there to protect you. They're not there to be strict, or they're not there to be, I don't know, like a rude person towards other people. No, boundaries are there to protect you, to make sure that you're safe and that you're fine and that you're not taken advantage of. And so make sure that you have your boundaries, be firm on them, and don't let other people manipulate you into thinking that your boundaries are not okay or they're too much. They're never too much if your shadow self is telling you they're not. So listen to that part of yourself. It's telling you that it wants to be protected. And also, don't be afraid to be called words such as difficult or the B word, which I can't say, but don't be afraid to be given labels that the world wants to give people that actually have boundaries, who actually are not afraid to say no. especially if you're a woman. It's so easy to get all of these very mean labels thrown at you, and that's only because the world is so used to everyone, especially women, just accepting everything and not complaining about it, which is not right, because the only person that's suffering is you and your shadow self. So make sure to be okay with that, because everyone is going to criticize you in that way when you start taking yourself so seriously and not, letting yourself be put down. So don't be afraid to be called labels like this. Take them and be like, you know what? You don't know my story, you don't know me, but I know me, and that's why I need to make sure that I'm okay. So, yes. Lastly, but not least, be patient with yourself in this journey. Dark feminine energy is very hard to just cultivate just like that. You need time and you need patience, and you are going to fail sometimes in your journey. I've failed so many times. I still don't think I'm 100% in, know everything about that energy, but that's not really the point. The point is to keep going and keep learning and keep trying again, and don't stop whenever you feel like there's an obstacle coming in your way. Be patient with yourself. You're just learning now, and nobody taught us all of these skills. We didn't have parents who were educated enough to teach us how to survive in a society like this or in a world like this. So be patient with yourself, be kind, give yourself that kindness that you've probably never received by society. So make sure to be okay with yourself in this journey, and make sure that you're okay with making mistakes in this journey. We don't always know what times to say no to people, and we don't know all of the times that we should be setting boundaries with people, but we're just learning and we're taking it day by day. And I think that's the most important thing I can give you as an advice. So with all of that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and please comment, subscribe, like, and share down below. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.